Hey review family, keep it high, keep it time. My name is Jay Morse, review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be doing an album review for Coded Smears and More Uncommon Slurs by Napalm Death. Napalm Death, the crust punk, the grindcore, the death metal legends, they've been at it since the early 1980s, making pummeling music and really being the forerunners in their specific niche. And God, I have so much respect for Napalm Death. From their abrasive style to the fact that they've been at it for so long in this genre, to Barney Greenway, the lead vocalist, amazing type of vocal structure, to the band's extremely political and social lyricism that really make a lot of headway and make a lot of kind of thoughts appear in your mind. There's so much to admire about this band. So this album is a compilation album. It's 92 minutes in length that has 31 songs on it, and to save both you and I time, I figured that instead of going through every single little track and telling you about them, I would more so go over the overall arc of the album, what it stands for, and kind of some comparisons. So something that I wanted to point out is in 2003 they released a compilation album that I believe was called Noise for Music's Sake, and that had some of their more grindcore songs. And the further back you go into their discography, you will notice that more and more of their music leans more towards the grindcore and the crust punk veneer, especially the crust punk in their earlier, like really early stuff. And then as you go forward in their discography, they have more of a death metal sound, a lot more technicality, kind of more longer links. A lot of times grindcore songs will have short links, but Napalm Death kind of experimented with some longer links, especially in the 1990s, but in the 2000s and the 2010s, they've moved more back towards their original grindcore sound, and then kind of found a happy medium between death metal and between grindcore that they ended up merging into this Deathgrind kind of phenomenon. And this all kind of culminated on most of their recent album releases, especially in 2015 with their album Apex Predator Easy Meat, where they had this very grindcore death metal sound where you could hear both influences coming together to create this clash that was a really entertaining and ferocious album to listen to. Now that you guys are hopefully caught up, not that most Napalm Death fans wouldn't already be caught up, this is really an essential type of listen if you are a fan of Napalm Death, which I do happen to be, but this is a very abrasive album. It's in a very abrasive band, and the reason I brought up that 2003 compilation album is because this album does not feature a lot of their kind of original grindcore music. This features a lot of longer song lengths ranging from the 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 minute song lengths. There's a couple songs on here that hit the 1 minute mark only, but for the most part you're not getting some of those kind of earlier grindcore crust punk inspired songs that were below the 1 minute mark. And I think that it makes a nice blend, because if they were to have both their grindcore and the death metal, I'm sure that it would appease fans of both genres as well as both generations of the band. But at the same time, I like the fact that it's all kind of a concise project and you get a lot of that material that has that death metal sound, that has those just heavy pummeling blast beat type of drums. The Barney still has his throaty growls and grunts and squeals and shrieks and so many other just great noises that he really is distinctive of. He reminds me a lot of Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation, or I guess Travis Ryan probably reminds me of him, of Barney, because Napalm Death's obviously been around since the early 80s, so I'd assume he was an influence because their vocal styles sound a lot alike. But Barney's vocals are definitely one of the big highlights on the album, as well as in Napalm Death in general. So yeah, this is honestly just a ferocious, just pummeling album. It's a lot of material, so if you are a fan of Napalm Death, this is kind of your one-stop shop for getting a lot of material if you are a fan of them. And if you are maybe someone that is new to metal, new to grindcore, or maybe just new to Napalm Death, I would very much suggest checking out this album because it could give you some insight into the band, and I feel like you could figure out if you're going to like them or not, especially the earlier material. Like they're kind of the issue with Napalm Death is they have such a diverge in terms of their styles that if you listen to this album, you're either going to find out that you like Napalm Death in general, you don't like Napalm Death in general, or maybe you might prefer their earlier stuff, so I would suggest checking out a lot of their albums. But this is a good start. This is honestly a really good start, especially considering how much material you get on this album. So for any of you that are interested, this is out on Century Media. If you want to go check it out, you can listen to the whole album on like Spotify. You can buy the album, support the artist. As usual, I'm going to be giving this album an 8 out of 10 because it is grindcore, it's deathcore, it's heavy, it's not easy to listen to if you are unfamiliar with the genre, but while I do kind of like hearing new material, I did enjoy this compilation a lot, and they will be releasing something hopefully in 2019 that I would be excited to cover. And until then, I'm closing the book on Napalm Death for now, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. My name is J More Serve You Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.